A muscle-bearing, box-lifting Tomas is happy to help Eva move back into the apartment she formerly shared with her mom. Tomas admits he's still bothered by the fact Kat said he was bad in bed. Declaring that he is a snack and a half, and he knows it, Eva pulls him into a steamy lip lock. Eva puts on the brakes and asks about Kat, but he says they're clearly over. The two of them make love, with Eva giving the experience a 5-star review. While he's in the shower, Eva gets an unexpected visit from Kat. At Chelsea's urging, Kat's there to try and make peace with her sister as a way of winning back Tomas. Instead, just as Kat suggests they might one day get closer and actually find themselves sharing things, guess who walks out of the bathroom in nothing but a towel? They say the best surprise is en Nujiro surprise. Unfortunately for Ted, a surprise is exactly what he gets when he stops by to see Eva, only to find out she and Leslie have traded living spaces. Leslie orders champagne and caviar while taunting Ted with the fact they had sex. Leslie warns that he's going to be seeing her all the time and thinking about her even more. She suggests they make love, but he says that will never, ever happen again. Once he leaves, Leslie raises a glass and basically toasts to herself, saying she wouldn't be so sure. It's launch day for Chelsea Cat, thanks to a live stream. The ladies do such a good job at pimping the bags that it's easy to imagine them selling through the roof. But if you thought Allison wasn't going to crash the virtual party, you don't understand soap psychos. Sure enough, Allison manages to trick a cop into handing over his phone so she can call in to chat with her wifey. Chelsea's freaked, but holds it together better than expected. Better still, the new purse line is a smashing success. At the police station, Vanessa asks Jacob if there's any chance at all that her husband's death wasn't an accident. Rather than assume that Joey might be involved, Vanessa blames herself. Meanwhile, Randy shows up at the casino, wanting assurances from Joey that he won't end up dead as his late pal Doug. Giving Joey twice as much as he stole from him a while back, Randy says, "If I'm already on the highway to hell, might as well hitch my wagon to the devil I know." Shaking Randy's hand, Joey welcomes him back into the fold. Later, Joey calls Marcel to say Randy is back on the payroll. Does he trust Randy? Not at all. But worst case scenario, he says, Marcel can simply arrange another accident. Hearing his name called, Joey turns to see Vanessa standing in the doorway, and we're left to wonder if she heard what he said and connected the dots. Beyond the Gates spoilers. For Monday, September 29th, imply that Eva Thomas will attempt to prove Catherine "Cat" Richardson wrong, while Vanessa McBride learns the ugly truth about Doug McBride's demise. Let's start with Eva trying to prove her sister wrong. BTG spoilers for Monday's show suggest that she'll try to convince Thomas Navarro that he's not as bad in bed as Kat has claimed. With that said, the only way Eva could truly prove this is if she hopped between the sheets with Tomas and confirmed it herself. How far is she willing to go to prove her sister wrong? It would take that much convincing for Eva to do the deed with Tomas. But will these two get caught up in a moment? Only time will tell. Meanwhile, Vanessa will press Jacob Hawthorne to give her all the information regarding Doug's passing. A toxicology report has likely been taken. So will it reveal that Doug wasn't drunk before the car crash, but rather he had drugs in his system? If Marcel Malone used the wrong type of drug in Doug's drink, all arrows could lead to Joey Armstrong being behind Doug's passing. So should the casino owner be concerned? Speaking of, Joey will get an unwelcome visitor during the Monday, September 29th episode. Could it be Jacob knocking on his door, wanting more information about Doug's time at the casino before his demise? Joey was in Puerto Rico with Vanessa when Doug passed away, so his hands are clean of this. However, Jacob is also an incredible cop with good instincts, so there's always a chance he gets to the real bottom of things. Lastly, Joey won't be the only person in Fairmont Crest who receives an unwelcome visitor, as Chelsea Hamilton will, too. Could this be about her stalker, Allison? This is a soap opera, after all, so there's always a chance that Allison was released because of an insanity plea. Then again, maybe Haley Hamilton drops by Chelsea's for a visit, and considering her ill feelings toward her stepmonster, Chelsea wouldn't be pleased to see her. Beyond the Gates spoilers hint at another explosive day on the CBS soap, so it sounds like the Monday, September 29th show is an episode fans won't want to miss. Beyond the Gates, spoilers hint at some bombshells for the week of September 29th to October 3rd. And there are also some casting changes to talk about too. Who's coming, and who's going on the CBS soap over the next 5 days. Read more below. As per the Beyond the Gates preview video for the week of September 29th, Donald McBride, the son of Vanessa McBride, and Doug McBride will debut this week. Actor Alex Cheeks has been cast in the role and is expected to debut on Wednesday, October 1st. Fans should brace for an explosive confrontation between Donnell and Joey Armstrong in the days ahead. Speaking of, this past Wednesday, September 24th, marked Jason Graham's final episode with BTG as Doug. Doug was part of storylines since day one, when the show debuted on February 24th. There are some added casting notes for BTG's Season 2. As per the X.com account, a Beyond the Gates fan, actor Kovar McClure is set to play Lance next season, for a minimum of 3 episodes. In addition, the same X account is reporting that actress Toni Moore will debut on the show at the end of Season 1. Moore posted about it on her Instagram account. Her caption read, "Wrapped Season 1 of Beyond the Gates airing on CBS. Not a major role yet, but learning so much on set." Moore went on to say, "Every day was a masterclass. Grateful to be working on the first ever all-black cast soap opera. Are you guys watching? It's getting spicy. Weekdays 2 p.m. ET 1 p.m. PT and streaming on Paramount+. It sounds like whomever Moore is playing may not be on canvas for very long, for now. But only time will tell." The Beyond the Gates spoilers for Tuesday, September 30th, 2025, suggest that Nicole&Carlton will share an intimate moment in public. Nicole is more than ready to move on from her marriage to Ted. She wants to move forward with Carlton. In Tuesday's episode, the two will share an intimate moment, but they're not alone. According to the weekly teasers, there are plenty of watchful eyes. In Fairmont Crest, you have to be careful, especially when you're newly divorced. You never know who's keeping an eye out. Who could it be? Ted has interrupted Nicole&Carlton having fun before. And Carlton is his business partner. Could it be Ted? Martin resets some boundaries, but he's struggling with his own issues about this matter. What could he do next? Could his mission to set personal boundaries fail? Kat deals with a devastating blow. She receives upsetting news that could change everything. This revelation could involve her half-sister, Eva, and her boyfriend, Tomas. What's next for Kat? Is she going to seek revenge? Ted and his nephew will discuss affairs of the heart. It sounds like he's going to talk to Andre about his surprise wedding to Danny, and probably Ted's divorce. These men share a taste for complicated women. Meanwhile, Ted has some surprises up his sleeve. Does he end up in bed with Leslie again? Stranger things have happened. Does he actually have feelings for the villain of Fairmont Crest? Will they actually go public with their relationship? Or is he just confused and lonely at the moment? June gets a little help from her friends. What's going on with our favorite new character? Why is she in distress or need? Here are your spoilers for Beyond the Gates on Tuesday, September 30th, 2025. Kat Richardson. Fresh off the news of her father and mother's divorce and the kidnapping of her cousin and bestie, Chelsea, is yet again going to be feeling it. In Tuesday's episode, Kat is dealt a devastating blow. How much more can this girl take? Her love life is in tatters after her romantic evening with Tomas ended in disaster. Hang in there, Kat. The week has good things in store for you. Even more determined to close the chapter on Ted, Nicole is after some male comfort, and it just so happens to be Ted's friend and colleague, Carlton. In Tuesday's episode, Nicole&Carlton share an intimate moment under watchful eyes. The fact that Nicole has chosen to spend time with her ex-husband's friend and colleague won't endear her to all fans, but seeing some new chemistry on this soap may be like a holiday of sorts. Life at the brownstone is anything but normal at the moment. Martin and Smitty remain at odds, and nothing is as it used to be. The arrival of June in all their lives is still having an effect. Samantha and Tyrell have differing opinions on how she fits into their lives, if at all, and in Tuesday's episode, Martin resets some boundaries. Ted and Andre have a lot to discuss, the fall of one relationship and the unexpected turn of events in another. Ted is getting divorced, and that's going to be one for the books if Nicole goes about it the way she seems to be headed. Nicole is moving on and doesn't seem to care who sees it. Andre, on the other hand, is freshly back from Las Vegas with Danny and a drunken wedding, officiated by an Anita Dupree lookalike. In Tuesday's episode, Ted and his nephew discuss their affairs of the heart, while June gets a little help from her friends. Beyond the gates, predictions talk about stalker Allison Bailey striking again, and Haley Lawson totally miffed about something. We've got predictions for Bill Hamilton, Danny Dupree, and Haley. Also, one for Catherine Kat Richardson and Tomas Navarro. Also, one for Allison and Chelsea Hamilton, for Andre Richardson and Danny, and also for Joey Armstrong and Vanessa McBride. Our very first prediction: Bill obsesses about Danny, and Haley is very annoyed. Wednesday spoilers have two people sharing a passionate kiss that riles up their emotions. And we know from the promo that Danny and Bill are kissing this week. Also on Wednesday, Danny tells Anita Dupree about her addiction, and it may be to Bill. On Wednesday, Haley finds out that Bill has been playing detective. He might be digging into Danny's recent marriage. Thursday, Danny makes someone have some doubts. And again, this may be about her kiss with Bill because she asks him if he's ashamed after they lock lips. And Friday, Danny has a stunning suggestion for Andre. It's some sort of unconventional proposal. So, Danny was appalled to wake up hungover and with a cigar ring wedding band. Worse yet, the Anita drag queen posted photos of Andre and Danny's wedding. So, Danny was having her lawyer find out how quickly they can do an annulment. And then Bill dropped by and was ranting at Danny. Ironically, Bill was going off about Danny marrying someone so much younger than her. As if Bill isn't having to get Haley juice boxes and coloring books, right? Bill's very strong reaction had Danny changing her mind about the annulment, at least for now. And this week, Bill still seems really bothered by Danny's elopement and that she's married to another man. So, that may be what he's investigating that really irritates Haley and makes her jealous. And that's why Bill and Danny share a kiss this week. Andre married her, and now Danny is forbidden fruit. Shame on that, Bill Hamilton. Our second prediction: Kat tries to steal Tomas back. Monday spoilers have Kat talking to Chelsea about her kind of mixed-up feelings for Tomas. Also on Monday, Eva Thomas helps Toms deal with his insecurities, and the spoiler specifically says Eva helps Tomas and puts his insecurities to bed. That definitely sounds like naughty stuff happening. On Tuesday, Kat is absolutely crushed, so we know Kat has not gotten any O's from Tomas. And the last time they did the deed, things went so badly that he walked out after Kat said, "Maybe Toms is the one who's bad in bed." Then last week, Dana Leslie Thomas told Eva to go for it with Tomas and fight for the man that she wants. So, on Monday, with this spoiler about Eva addressing Tomas's insecurities, it sounds like Eva and Tomas do the deed, and maybe he delivers her all the O's that Kat wasn't picking up. So on Tuesday, with Kat crushed, it sounds like she might find out Eva and Tomas hooked up. To be fair, it seemed like Kat and Tomas were done when he walked out the other day. What's worse is if Eva confirms that Tomas really rung her bell, and then Kat's got her own insecurities to obsess about. Also, as she did when she was sabotaging Eva's job at Dr. Ted Richardson's office, I'm betting Kat may do all she can to mess up things with Tomas and Eva, even though she and Tomas were definitely not clicking and do not seem meant for each other. Our third prediction: Allison grabs for tabloid and internet fame. On Monday, Chelsea gets an unwelcome blast from her past. According to Beyond the Gates spoilers, also this week, Chelsea and Kat have their big Purseline debut. It's going to be an online event. Think a live stream type of QVC thing with high schooler Samantha running the event. I just can't imagine we've seen the last of insane Allison. So, she might be the blast from Chelsea's past. Allison is so obsessed with Chelsea and her online persona. So maybe Allison's going to make it public that she and Chelsea got married, at least in Allison's crazy brain. Or maybe Allison is going to get hold of a jailhouse phone and call into Chelsea's and Kat's launch day and start talking crazy. Or if she can get her hands on a smuggled cell phone. According to all the crime shows I've seen, cell phones get smuggled into jails all the time. So, I feel like Allison may want to grab some exposure of her own and might use this launch as a platform to make it known that she is Chelsea's wife, etc. Our fourth prediction, Andre wants a real marriage to Danny. Or does he? So this week, Andre suggests to Danny that he move into her house, and of course, they are married. They're still not annulled. On Tuesday, Andre is talking to Dr. Ted about women and feelings and all that stuff. So, Andre seems really bothered that Ashley Morgan proposed to Derek Baldwin, and now that ring is on her finger. And Andre definitely didn't like it when Ashley Morgan said they are both where they should be. He completely rejects that theory. Andre Richardson has had a crush on Ashley Morgan for a long time. And for a long time, he and Danny were booty calls, non-blood related, family with benefits situationship. But now they're hitched. So when Andre suggests that he move into her house, I just wonder if he's going to try to make it work with Danny so he can try and forget Ashley and the fact that he wants her. Meanwhile, Danny is playing her elopement with Andre to entice and infuriate Bill. So, looks like they're both kind of doing the same thing, the newlyweds, right? If Andre does move in with Danny, I'm just not sure them sticking with this marriage is doing it for the right reasons. Andre seems to want Ashley, and Danny seems to want Bill. And the people they want are both with other people. However, maybe this marriage will turn real for both Andre and Danny, and then they'll see that they should just walk away from their exes and be happy together. We'll see how that goes. Our fifth and final prediction, Vanessa rejects Joey, and he doesn't take it well. Monday spoilers have Vanessa questioning Jacob Hawthorne about Doug McBride's car accident, and I wonder if she'll be suspicious, because he went straight from the casino into a ravine while Joey was conspicuously out of town after insisting he and Vanessa needed to leave. Wednesday and Thursday spoilers have Doug and Vanessa's son, Donald McBride, Geese, in town. He's taking a little break from college, obviously, to deal with his dad's death, and he's making scenes. He goes up to the casino, and Danelle confronts Joey and threatens lawsuits for his dad Doug's car wreck, alleging wrongful death. I'm guessing he is saying that his dad was overserved, and Danelle is absolutely going to hate Joey. So, we all know Joey had Marcel Malone get Doug drunk, put him in the car. I mean, heck, Marcel may have even put a passed-out Doug behind the wheel and just took him, put a brick on the gas pedal and sent him into that ravine. In the end, we all know Joey is likely 100% responsible for Doug's death. Joey could have been patient, and Doug might have ended up accidentally doing this to himself. But Joey was impatient. He wants Vanessa all to himself, and in the end, I think Joey assumes now that Doug is dead and out of the way. The path is clear, and that he can have Vanessa all to himself. Maybe Joey even envisions his ring on Vanessa's finger because Joey thinks that Vanessa is his perfect partner in bed and also in crime. To be fair, I think Joey's definitely Vanessa's match, but her son Donnell would lose it if he knew his mom was banging Joey, the guy that Donnell wants to sue for his dad's death. So I think when Joey tries to move closer, Vanessa is going to take a step back. But I do say once the dust settles, so long as no evidence points to Joey being culpable in Doug's death, I do think Vanessa will wind up with the bad guy. The week ahead in Beyond the Gates takes viewers straight into messy love lives and long-buried family drama. Danny Dupree's history with Bill Hamilton resurfaces. Kat Richardson faces a devastating shock involving Tomas Navarro and Eva Thomas, and the McBride family is thrown into chaos when Doug's son finally steps into Fairmont Crest. Doug McBride's death still hangs over the community, and everyone is searching for answers. Viewers know Joey Armstrong and Detective Marcel Malone were the ones who drugged him, but the rest of Fairmont Crest has no idea. Joey is on edge, and it feels like time is running out. Vanessa McBride refuses to let this go. She pushes Jacob Hawthorne to dig deeper and confirm if Doug really had drugs in his system. If that comes out, Joey won't be able to hide anymore. On top of that, Jacob and Naomi just learned they're having a baby. Jacob is over the moon, but Naomi doesn't share his excitement, which could spell tension in their marriage. Meanwhile, Eva Thomas is desperate to convince Tomas Navarro that he's not as inadequate as he fears. But the way she tries to prove it is risky and could destroy her relationship with Kat Richardson for good. The biggest shakeup comes when Donnell McBride makes his debut. Played by Alex Cheeks, Donnell charges straight at Joey, blaming him for his dad's death. He threatens to sue both the casino and the bartender who served Doug that night. Donnell isn't holding back, and his arrival could finally blow Joey's secret wide open. Elsewhere, Danny Dupree and Bill Hamilton share a kiss that sparks up old feelings. Bill's wife Haley has been planning their future and even thinking about trying for another child. But Danny has other ideas. She even gives Andre an odd proposal about not moving into her place yet, even though they're married, just so she can keep her options open and get closer to Bill again. Kat Richardson isn't far behind in heartbreak. She catches Tomas and Eva in a moment that cuts her deeply. Even if it's just a kiss, it's enough to shake her to the core. Ashley Morgan finds herself second-guessing whether she can handle being Derek Baldwin's full-time caretaker. She doesn't want to make him feel left out, but she's starting to wonder if she's strong enough for the responsibility. Nicole Richardson and Carlton Fitzgerald keep growing closer, but Ted Richardson is keeping an eye on them. He's filled with regret about pushing his wife away, and now has to watch her lean on another man. As for Haley, her dreams of expanding her family may hit the brakes. Bill's kiss with Danny changes everything, and Danny's scheming is about to cause even more heartbreak. With emotions running high across Fairmont Crest, nobody's relationship looks safe. Keep following Soap Opera Daily for every update on Beyond the Gates. Are y'all ready to go beyond the gates? This week, Chelsea and Eva channeled Dr. Ruth. June made a surprising new connection, and Leslie actually used her newly acquired superpowers for good. Meanwhile, Andre and Danny might have gotten married in Las Vegas, but Derek and Ashley are taking the bigger gamble. And ding dong, the Doug is dead. Or is he? Let's fill up those 2 scoops and find out what happened inside and outside the gates of Fairmont Crest. No air freshener this week? No orange jugs of laundry detergent? Just as well, because Kat's linens remain as pure as snow, since she didn't give Tomas any sugar, and she finally told Chelsea about it. After what was apparently the first father-daughter's dinner between Bill, Chelsea, and Naomi, Kat got a moment alone with her cuz and spilled all the Tomas tea. "Girl, it was a catastrophe," she moaned. "Should that not be cat-tastrophe?" I couldn't help it. Anyway, Chelsea cut right through the hooey and told Kat that she had overreacted. To her view, Tomas had been trying to open up a discussion with Kat about their much-lacking sex life, except Kat heard "broken," thought he was referring to her and not that aspect of their romance, and lashed about by telling Tom he sucked as a lover. I still hold that the real issue is Kat can't relax into making love with Tomas, because she knows he also wants Eva, whom she hates more than mismatched separates. But that's not the hill the show wants to die on with her. The rationale Kat's been given is that she feels so much societal pressure, that if sex isn't perfect, it spells doom for a coupling. Yes, unfortunately, that is the message we get, through novels and TV shows and movies and songs. And, dare I say, porn hasn't helped. So I can understand Kat having this kind of a performance anxiety. But what Chelsea told Kat last week still holds true. The right guy would trust Kat's instincts about Eva, instead of doing everything he can to stand up for Ted's other daughter. Kat and Tomas are wrong for each other, and it's time for these two to cut their losses and run. Especially since Tomas is over here telling Eva inappropriate things about her half-sister. Seriously, who confides in someone they have the hots for that their current partner is lacking in the bedroom? I don't think Senor Navarro has been listening much in those meetings meant to make his workplace better for women. Lucky for Kat, Eva shockingly took the highest of roads and advised Tomas to treat Kat like a person instead of shining a spotlight on their sex life. Because Eva easily could have driven the final nail into that couple. Tomas is ready to bust. And now Leslie is giving Eva the go-ahead to make a play for Tomas herself. Because clearly, Eva is the better option. Can't argue with Dana/Sherry/Lulu here. Comas is done. Can we backtrack to Chelsea for a second? As I said, Bill had a leisurely dinner with his girls, and when he came home, Haley was all, "Wow, honey, you were gone so long I thought your daughters kidnapped you." Tone deaf much? Haley knows Chelsea is still dealing with the aftermath of her own kidnapping. I'm surprised Bill didn't set his wife straight. Haley is so on my nerves since the fake miscarriage pregnancy thing anyway. Girls so insecure, crappy Wi-Fi networks take lessons from her. June had quite the week. Liberated from the streets, drugs, and her threadbare duds, the woman who still doesn't have a last name spread her wings through her gig at Orphe Jeans. First, she served Martin and Eva, who got a rare scene together. The only half-sib Eva usually interacts with is Kat. Eva felt that the Duprees needed to stop ganging up on Leslie, but Martin maintained that Leslie should have no issue with the family, since Nicole didn't actually take Ted from her. Speaking of whom, Nicole had a meeting with June and let her know that Tyrell was slow to warm up to people, though he made it worth it once he did. This made June feel better about reaching her son, and Nicole added that all June needed to do was be sure that Samantha and Tyrell knew they were important to June. Samantha realized she was quickly because she got to meet with her biomom to discuss boys. Well, one boy in particular, the fast-moving Nathan, whose speedy jump from kissing to trying sex had Sammy Sam confused. For someone who's been drugged out for who knows how long, June sure had some sage advice. She told Samantha to stay tuned in to her inner voice, because it's just too easy to give over to what a love interest wants when you like them. Where was June in my teens, and my 20s, and my 30s? And, well, keep going. Too bad the Richardson Smiths aren't in the market for some of June's Dear Abbying, because I think she might agree with my own assessment of them. Martin had promised Samantha that he wouldn't tell Smitty she was meeting with June. Only then, when Smitty wanted answers, Martin caved and betrayed his daughter's trust. And Smitty was pissed. Martin had once again kept something from him. This when he's supposed to be proving to his husband that he can be relied upon. No wonder Smitty screamed at him and called him out for his pattern of lying. I was actually surprised by Smitty's force. What I don't understand, though, is exactly why Smitty has such an issue with June. It's like he and Martin have switched places on that one. Sure, Smitty is dubious about how long June might stay clean, and he's not wrong that June let both Tyrell and Samantha down hard before she gave them up for adoption. But for Smitty to go to June and basically say he was going to be watching June to make sure she didn't fuck up, it seemed just a tiny bit out of character. I would have expected that from Martin, whom Smitty needs to divorce, now. However rattled June might have been from Smitty getting up in her grill, it surely didn't last long because of the arrival of an unexpected customer. Ted! He was in need of company and asked June to sit with him, and when he said he'd probably fat up on all the Orphe Jeans food if he worked there, June told him he probably never had to worry about weight. True, she noticed his wedding ring, but he did imply his marriage wouldn't last long. I sensed some flirting going on for sure. Interesting thing about wedding rings, though, Wednesday's episode seemed to be all about them. Doug and Ted both toyed with theirs. Derek got Ashley to wear his, Joey got Vanessa to remove hers, and Naomi inexplicably left hers behind in the diner's restroom. You usually don't see that strong a theme running through a whole episode. Even if I'm not sure what the point of Naomi losing her band was. She got spun out about the apparent loss while Jacob was like, "It's just jewelry." Its absence was not necessarily a harbinger of things to come, he said. Unless it is. Naomi was cool after she retrieved her wedding band from June. And speaking of round trinkets, the Hawthorns busted out their furry handcuffs from the show's first week. But what did it all mean? Could there really be marital blitz on the horizon for these two? Leslie was only present on Friday's episode, but, not unusual for her, she sure made a splash in a short time. First off, she visited Eva in her hotel room and told her she wanted to move in because her apartment building had been sold. Eva, like me, and I'm sure most of us, thought that meant Leslie wanted to bunk with her. But psyche! Leslie's building had been sold all right. To Leslie! Roadrunner offer and potassium overloader, Leslie also arrived with the news that she was giving Eva her apartment. It was now in Eva's name. Well, that's a step up on Ted, who said months ago that he was going to find a place for Eva to live, but didn't do anything but stick her in a hotel all that time. And hey, since Eva's room was going to be empty, Leslie could just take up space in it, because housekeeping and all. Eva knew that was bull, and figured out as quickly as I did that Leslie just wanted to be in the same building as Ted. Leslie made no secret of that, but she did leave out a major detail with Eva that was even bigger. Once Eva skedaddled to work at Ted's clinic, Leslie ushered her own visitor in. Peaches! Well, Lordy, we ain't seen hide nor hair of Leslie's surrogate mom since that whole Barbara inheritance business first went down. But what happened next was both surprising and touching, especially coming from Leslie. Ms. Thomas handed Miss Peaches a check with a lot of zeros to handle her health care and to hire on some home aides. Y'all say it with me, oh! And I say that with zero sarcasm. Leslie knew she had made Peaches' life difficult as a teen. All this when Peaches was going out of her way to raise Barbara's child. And Leslie wanted to start making things right. Leslie's love for Eva is genuine, but even that always seems to come with an ulterior motive. This display with Peaches, well, it was actually unselfish. Who'd have thought? Only one blip. Leslie wanted to put Peaches up in an apartment, the one she had just gifted to Eva. Way to let Eva know she's going to have a roommate. Not. Shouldn't Eva be able to decide for herself whether she wants to live alone or not? What could Leslie's MO be here? Unless it's just to help Eva foster a relationship with her grandmother. I really don't want to spend a lot of time on Dashley or anything Dashley adjacent, because every week they just make me wish even more that a sinkhole would open up under Ashley's apartment. The super self-sufficient Derek was understandably bothered that the Hawthorns had just made Ash's pad fully accessible to this paraplegic. That wasn't the problem. With the ladies out for food and just Jacob left behind, Derek tried to hide his once-rejected engagement ring for Ashley, only to topple a stack of books onto his lap. Jacob saw Derek's physical reaction and concluded that his friend had some level of feeling back in his legs. "Rejoice!" "Not so fast," Derek said. He wanted to keep the news quiet. Why give Ashley false hope when he was just getting the occasional twinge? Through a second conversation, Derek shared his vision that he might stand up from his chair during the wedding, thereby giving Ashley one hell of a wedding present. But Jacob was not about it. He had no intention of keeping that secret, especially from Naomi, during the months until the ceremony. Hey, Naomi's good at it. Wasn't she all worried about having to hide from Jacob that the dead body in the park was Kenneth? That hasn't even come up again. Derek got so pissy about Jacob needing to respect his authority that Detective Jacob detectived that Derek was being driven by something else. Was Derek trying to test Ashley? Sir Baldwin fumbled all over himself, and Jacob pretty well had his answer. Shades of Blake Carrington on the OG dynasty keeping his recovery from blindness to himself to test Crystal's loyalty, ain't it? Ain't it? So the upcoming groom doesn't trust his upcoming bride, thinking she'd be with Andre if he hadn't paralyzed himself. Not exactly Derek's first test. His whole proposal in June was a test. For Ashley's part, Naomi was like, "What the hell, girl, why the 180? She knew Ash had just dissed Derek not that long ago. Was she trying to turn a pity party into a wedding party? No, Ashley swore. She'd just realized that Derek was destiny. Hey, Ashley, you can't have that word. That is the intellectual property of Brooke Logan Forrester, Forrester Chambers, Forrester Jones, Forrester, Marone Forrester, Spencer Forrester on B&B. Maybe after Ashley's on her 9th marriage to Derek, like Brooke, who just remarried Ridge again this past week. Brooke will loan her the war for a while. Thing is, neither Ashley nor Derek are marrying for the right reasons. Sure, that's Soap 101. And sure, if this was a fresh arc for these two, hell, go for it. But they've already worn down the asphalt on this road in 7 short months. Derek doesn't trust Ashley. Ashley's interests are elsewhere, and whatever love they feel for each other can't hold up under all that weight. Can we please be done with these two? Can one be arrested for flying under the influence? Andre and Danny were already so tanked before they flew off to Vegas that they could have inhaled the fumes from the jet exhaust instead, and their blood alcohol levels wouldn't have been as high. Andre wasn't so wasted that he didn't have some presence of mind, though. Instead of taking Danny to a casino or a hotel, he brought her straight to a wedding chapel. Luckily for Andre, Danny was drunk enough to let a coin flip decide if they should get married or not. It landed heads, and the decision was made to I do. If Danny didn't think fate was directing things up until that point, the sight of her mom was a powerful signal from the heavens. Except it wasn't really Anita. It was an Anita Williams impersonator, played to delicious, over-the-top perfection by Ms. Tamara Tooney herself. Some of you were saying Anita was a drag performer. If she was, that wasn't made obvious in the dialogue. Vegas. Anita floated across the room, talked with a lisp, took a shot from a flask when no one was looking, and kicked on an Articulettes instrumental so she could sing the "Do you take I to be your wakik parts of the vows. It was glorious. Every second was glorious. What fun! Everybody was clearly having a ball, and I already know what my vote is for Best Wedding of 2025. Danny and Andre giggled and made asides through the whole thing, but the pronouncements were no joke, even if Anita told her attendant that the couple probably wouldn't remember the wedding the next day. She was right. Truly, Andre and Danny woke up, heads ringing, the other side of the room too far away, as they struggled to figure out where they even were. Danny thought they had boarded a cruise ship. Andre realized they were in Vegas. And I guess you have to have been pretty drunk to have the exact same wedding ceremony dream as the person you married. Because Vegas Anita had made enough of an appearance in the new Richardsons' minds that they started to piece together what had happened. There seemed to be no physical proof of the nuptials, at least not until the newlyweds found the marriage certificate folded up like a hat. Well, that's gonna be one to tell the grandkids. Amazingly, instead of either launching into a full-on freakout, they simply accepted that they had tied the knot, with Danny telling Andre, "There is no one I would rather not remember marrying than you. Tell me these guys don't have what it takes." Their hangovers persisted once they stumbled into Danny's DC pad, speaking of initials. Adji. Danny S. actually asked if she needed AA. How about ya?